back to my channel. As you can see, I am in my new location, which is really lovely, but I'm actually moving again, so apologies. That's going to mean that the tarot channel is going to be, I don't know, I'm going to try and do the best I can. I'm going to try and post some readings, but I genuinely don't know when. Probably the rest of this year is going to be a little bit up in the air, but next year we'll be able to get into a routine again, which I'm really excited about. Anyway, I really wanted to jump on and do the December tarot readings. I'm going to try and knock out as many as I possibly can, because I'm moving again in like a week and a half, so it's crazy. I've basically got to pack all over again. And anyway, let's start with earth signs for December. How does that sound? And I've bought myself a copy of the Light Seers tarot deck. I know a lot of other channels use this one at the moment. It's a very popular deck. I was inspired to get it because the images are just amazing. And it just arrived today. And one thing I noticed just flipping through it that I really actually love is firstly, there's so much color on the cards, which is just gorgeous. But secondly, there's actually a lot of basically every kind of different nationality is represented on these cards. You know, you've got people that are white, you've got people that are Asian, you've got people of all different kind of ethnic looking backgrounds, and it's just beautiful. I love the diversity in the cards. I love that there's young people, there's older people, there's just a range of ages and colors, and it's really beautiful. I love that it's so inclusive like that. Anyway, so let's get started. So I think we're going to start with Taurus. So let's have a look at what's going on for Taurus for the month of December. I don't have a particular spread in mind for today. We're just going to freestyle it. Sorry, it's a new deck, so it's still in that hard to shuffle phase. One other thing that I really do love about this deck, guys, I've got really small hands, and I love that it's very narrow, and also it's, because in comparison to probably your standard size decks, which are like this, I just want to kind of show you, it's so much more narrower, and it's also not quite as tall, so it's just so much easier to shuffle. It's beautiful, or it will be once the cards break in, you know what I mean? Oh my gosh, guys. Right, let's see, Taurus for the month of December, what's going on? Spirit, please use me as a clear channel to deliver messages for the highest guidance of my Taurians that are watching. So this one wants to come out. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, Taurus, you guys are getting your groove back on. You're getting your mojo back, really, is what this is for the month of December. So, I love it. You're finding your independence this month. You're just kind of finding your independence. You're focusing on what makes you happy. You've been feeling really burdened lately, really weighed down with responsibilities or things that you've needed to get done, or obligations, or you might be closing out like a project or some sort of cycle, but it's getting harder. It's getting kind of weary. You're getting kind of fatigued towards the end of it. But all of a sudden you're going to go from the Ten of Wands to the Page of Wands to the Knight of Wands. Now, I will let you know, I had pre-shuffled this deck and I'd already used it for myself prior to jumping on. So these cards have been well shuffled, but this is actually the natural order that they would be in a brand new deck when they're not shuffled. However, I've already used this, so the cards were all nicely jumbled up. So it's funny that they've all jumped out to me this way, because it's kind of like you're going through the natural progression of things. And it's even like, this is Pentacles, so this is Earth, and then this is Wands, which is fire, but you're going 9, 10, Page, Knight, like you're just constantly advancing this month. It's like you're finding your momentum again. So if you've been feeling like weighted down, and kind of maybe like, yeah, you just can't close something out, or you've got too much weight on to pick up speed and to gain momentum, you are now in the gaining momentum phase. You might be connecting with a younger fire sign. So a fire sign friend of yours. So that could be an Aries, a Leo, a Sagittarius. And they could be younger than you. Don't have to be. But there may be something about... Yeah, that's just a message for some of you. But some of you might be connecting with a fire sign, particularly a younger fire sign, that's helping to bring in some more kind of creative, playful energy. And I think that's really helping like charge your batteries and helping you to find your mojo again. Because yeah, you go from feeling really burdened and really weighed down to feeling free and adventurous and then feeling like sexy and passionate and inspired and like, yeah, I'm loving this energy. Okay, let's get some more specifics around this. So I want to see, first of all, what was sort of burdening you guys leading up into this month. It may be different for all of you, but we'll have a look and see what wants to come out. Okay, so what has been burdening Taurus leading up to December? What's been burdening Taurus leading up to December? I think you were trying to do something new. You were trying to do something new, but you maybe felt very inexperienced. You maybe felt like you had a lot to learn. You maybe felt like you didn't have enough to offer to start some kind of new endeavor. It may have even been like you were trying to get a new job or start a new business or something related to work and career, but you maybe felt like, I just don't know if I'm going to be successful. You may have been having some confidence issues, but it certainly feels like up here you're going to be finding your confidence, like really hardcore finding your confidence, actually. It could also be that there was some sort of blockage for you regarding being in the public eye. So for example, and I don't mean like you necessarily have to be some kind of celebrity or anything like that, but it may be like the Six of Wands to me it's a very public card. It's like your public self. So there may have been, like you might have been trying to do something new that was unexpected. Like if people around you knew what it was you were trying to work on, they maybe might have felt like this was out of character for you. You know, there may have been an energy for some of you of like, what will people think? Or yeah, like it's a little bit of a pride thing, a little bit of an ego thing, because ultimately like you're you and you can do whatever you want to do and it doesn't really matter what other people think. But I do think that was a little bit of a blockage for you. And I think I think it was also kind of like a little bit of an excuse. Yeah. Just in terms of, I think part of the real issue may have been like a lack of confidence on your part. And it was easy to therefore get caught up in like, oh, but what are other people going to think of this move? Or because that was a way of you kind of avoiding the fact that maybe you didn't actually feel confident enough to do it anyway. Does that make sense? But in December, you're definitely finding your confidence. Like with, it's like you're just harnessing like all the beautiful, creative, magical energy of the universe. Like wands people, like fire energy, very dominant fire energy people, are very like inspired. Like they just they grab an idea, sort of they pluck it out of the universe, and they just kind of harness that energy to just kind of bring it in. Like they use their passion and their excitement as like a manifesting tool, and that's kind of what you're doing. Because you notice here, like you're working, whatever you're working on, you're kind of working on it independently. It's not really something that you're working on with other people or really telling too many other people about. So you're sort of keeping it to yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. In fact, I tend to suggest that when you're working on something new, particularly when you're still trying to find your own confidence around it, it can be quite wise not to bring it into the public eye for everybody else to scrutinize it. Because then you invite like their opinions on it, and if somebody has like a negative opinion about it, then that can kind of, dampen your enthusiasm for something or introduce fears about how something's going to work. And you don't need to be introducing any outside fears when you're trying to do something new, particularly if you're still working through some of your own internal fears around something. So I think it's really good that you're trying to keep this kind of private and you're just kind of working away on it yourself. But it's really interesting to me because you're going to be finding your confidence, but you're not like showing up as like the queen or the king who kind of has the competence level to feel super confident. It's like you just are becoming, in the month of December, like an honorary fire sign. You really are. You're becoming someone who understands that excitement and passion has a huge amount of creative and spiritual potential to manifest something and to help you kind of make up for whatever skills you don't have or whatever confidence like you don't yet feel like you have. It's kind of like you're understanding that trying new things and just kind of going for it breeds confidence. Like, I'm always a fan of saying to people, like, don't wait to feel confident because you're going to be waiting a long time, right? Start, and then the confidence will kind of catch up. Because it's kind of like when you try lots of new things, there's something about doing that, and there's something about the courage and the bravery that takes that then kind of begets confidence. Like, confidence often comes after you're willing to kind of get moving and get into motion, and that's so what you're doing. It's so beautiful. Like, I love the energy that you guys are in this month. Like, it's fabulous. Like, keep doing it. And I have to say, I'm really pleased too, because I know for most of this year with the Taurus readings, like, you guys were really stuck. Like, there was about 3 months consecutively where it was just like, the advice basically that was coming through for you guys was basically like, just do it. Stop thinking about it and just do it. Like, you're blocking yourself. And like, you are not blocking yourself anymore. Like, this is gorgeous energy. Gorgeous energy. Right. What else? Taurus. December. Completion. So you definitely are completing a cycle. What was I saying about the Page of Wands and about how it just looks like you're going on an adventure and you're finding your own adventurous spirit within 55 adventure. And I almost feel like for some of you, you may be traveling to find a sense of adventure, and it could just be like going on like little wee day trips or weekend like road trips and exploring new places, and just, you know, you could just be like wandering through parks and looking at different things, and just, it's kind of like the newness of these things that you're going to be looking at is kind of helping charge up your batteries. And you've got a lot of abundance coming in, like, and I do get the sense that this abundance, like, it's happiness and it's joy, but I do think it's also like tangible physical things as well. Yeah, what did I say about you harnessing like this energy of like magic to like move forward? This is exactly this. Dragonfly. So it says transformation, magic, and illusion. It's like you're just allowing, it's that part of you that's very childlike, that part of you that, like, you know how often for many of us when we were kids there was this part of us that just believed that anything was possible, right? And then as you get older and as you become an adult and you have like adverse life experiences and things don't work out, you kind of learn how to settle, and you kind of talk yourself out of some of these big like dreams that you had. Well, this is you going back to the dreams and dusting them off and really believing that you can have them. Oh, it's so beautiful. Tell me more about what's completing for Taurus. And we do have the final 2 eclipses of the year coming up. So we've got the new moon in Gemini, full moon in Gemini. I can't remember, but basically we've got 2 eclipses coming up. One at the end of this month, and then one shortly after. And so that's really going to help with this completion energy and what you're trying to close out. So we've got 10 of Swords is what you're trying to close out. So this is some kind of pain. This is some kind of sense of betrayal. And then we've got Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So this is like a lack of nurturing. You might be closing out some wounding around a mother figure, or a partner, like a wife or a, just a long-term partner. You might be closing out some sort of wounding related to that, particularly if your mother or this female partner, if you didn't feel like they were very giving towards you, if you didn't feel like they were nurturing towards you, yeah, you may be closing out some kind of wounding around that. And then we've got the Page of Cups. It's almost like something that's happened with this feminine energy has kind of blocked your ability to kind of trust and to kind of open up and to kind of let love in whatever form that takes for some of you. For some of you, like, somebody might offer you an apology, or you might apologize to someone, or there just might be a very cathartic conversation that takes place. Like, it might be that someone finally opens up and you might initiate the conversation, or they might initiate the conversation, but it may just enable you to get some sort of closure. And that may help you move on and just open yourself up. Because the energy of like the Page of Wands and the energy of adventure, it's a very trusting energy. Like, if you think about kind of a hippie or a free spirit that kind of like roams the world and doesn't have a lot of money, and they just kind of get by on like meeting people and forging connections and sleeping in people's homes and exploring the world with, you know, a few dollars in their back pocket. Like, that's sort of that Page of Wands energy. And you think about how much trust that actually has to take. Like, you have to have kind of like a decent amount of faith in humanity to live like that, right? Because if you really don't think that your needs are going to be met, or that you're going to be taken advantage of, or, you know, you wouldn't be able to operate in such a free-spirited kind of nature. So you're really closing out things that have blocked your ability to kind of be open and trust people. That's kind of what I'm getting there. Let's have a look. Let's see what adventures are coming in for you guys. Tell me more about this adventure for Taurus. This energy of adventure. Okay, so I'm going to take this one because it flipped up, and then there's a few that fell on the floor upright, so I'm going to take those as well. Okay. So we've got the Ace of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, so that's the second Page of Pentacles that we've got on the table. We've got Death and Rebirth, the Knight of Pentacles, and the King of Wands. Whew. Okay, so the Ace of Cups goes really nicely with this Page of Cups, because it's just telling me like there really is the emotions starting to flow, you know, and it's a new beginning in terms of your emotional self. It's a new beginning in your feelings. It's a new beginning in your heart. Your heart's just going to feel a lot lighter. I feel like you're going to be like letting go of some kind of pain, or you're just going to be able to be more expressive with your feelings. And it's really going to help you with whatever this new thing is that you've been trying to create. And I do think that you've been going through a process of transformation. I mean, we had this dragonfly card, which is transformation as well. But we've got Death and Rebirth here. And it's kind of like, I think you've been going through this process in secret. I don't think you've been really telling people about it. I don't think you've been really letting people in on it. And we've got the Knight of Pentacles. I get the feeling like this has been kind of a slow process, but a steady progress, okay? Like, this is natural Taurian energy, the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles kind of often gets criticized because it's a very, very slow-moving energy. But in this deck, this is just a different kind of depiction of the Knight of Pentacles. There's a lot of growth, is just kind of what I'm getting with this. There's a lot of growth. There's been a lot of growth taking place in kind of this transformation process that you've been going through, whether you've realized it or not, you know? I'm really drawn to the King of Wands. but I'm not really sure what it's trying to tell me. So we've basically got on the table now, we've got every single Wands court card apart from the Queen. So we've got the Page, we've got the Knight, we've got the King. It's almost like you may find, like, you find your independence, you complete some cycles, let go of some burdens, and you go from the adventurous Page of Wands to the kind of sexy, confident, like supercharged, passionate Knight of Wands to the King of Wands, just kind of like overnight. I don't know. Tell me more about this King of Wands. I think it's like you've been holding on to some things. You've been holding on to some things, or you've been afraid to open up. And as we see here, you're going to be kind of completing that guardedness and that closedness, and you might even let go of something in the process. And that's going to enable you to kind of find this new creative idea, or this new... It's not a new idea, it's a new approach to what it is that you've been trying to do. It's a new approach. It's like you're going to get fresh inspiration or a new angle on how to go about this thing that you've been trying to create. And then I think you're just going to go for it. It's almost like that was like the one thing that was missing for you. Like, because you had some like emotional pain that you were sort of unable to clear, and because that was creating blocks in you being open and in you being trusting, and like you couldn't even access within your like mind the right way to build this new thing that you're trying to build. But it's almost, I think the reason you couldn't access it was because it wasn't an intellectual answer that you needed. It was like an emotional, spiritual kind of answer that you needed. It was an intuitive solution that you needed. It was intuition, but you were trying to access it from your mind. And because of that, you couldn't get there, because you can't access your intuition through your mind. Does that make sense? It's a different energy. And it's not that the mind's unimportant. The mind is very, like, once you are connected to your intuition, then you can really engage the mind to make it happen. But it was like you were trying to do it the other way around. And it's funny because on this deck, we've got so much fire energy, we've got some water energy, we've got some pentacles, earth energy, but we've got no swords, no mental energy. And I think you've been very stuck in your mental energy. You've been trying to do everything through your mind, and there's none on the table right now. Which is really beautiful, because it's kind of like you're charging up the missing pieces. You're finding the energies that you couldn't access very well before, and it's just gonna move this thing along. Like, you're finding your momentum, you're finding your confidence, and it's really gonna move things really, really fast for you. Like, I think you're gonna be surprised at how quickly you can be successful, at how quickly you can have progress. Like the Knight of Wands, that's a very, very fast energy. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful, guys. There's no need to ramble on. That message is so clear. So anyway, guys, I hope that resonated. Let me know in the comments don't forget to like and subscribe. Like I say, my posting frequency will be a little bit erratic still for the next month. I'm really sorry about that. I just need to take care of business in my own life, but we'll be back soon, and I can't wait to hang out again. Bye.